And it's time for another episode of the Wrasslin Roundtable podcast coming off what ended up being a really phenomenal pay-per-view show, Women's Evolution 2, the all women's premium live event just went off the air, and boy, do we have some stories to talk about there. Not got a couple of stories to talk about with Saturday night's main event, but I think we're talking women here. Um, as always, I'm Ryan. Got Dominique joining us as always, and my friend. The finish of that show, the whole internet's talking right now.
That was a great finish. That was very unexpected. All the signs pointed to Naomi, if anybody hasn't realized who won.
Right.
Naomi cashing in on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley for the is it world? Yeah,
Yeah.
the women's world title on Raw of all places. That's very shocking.
Yep.
But it definitely is definitely a needed wrench in the system, in a sense. Um, Obviously, to be honest, Raw's women's division is hotter than SmackDown's. I mean, no disrespect to Tiffany,
Of course.
but um, and no disrespect to Jade. Obviously, she showed out tonight with Naomi, but with all these injuries going on and just storyline building, I think it was the best move to move Naomi to Raw and cash in on Io Sky because now you have a freeway of storylines to make with that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's still meat on the bones with that Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair kind of triumvirate there too.
yeah, and I don't think I may be the only one that feels this way. Maybe other people do, but I don't think Naomi will be. I don't think Naomi will be done with Jade until she just retires. Really, to be honest.
No, yeah, no. Yeah, Jade Cargill's gonna be her Randy Orton, I think,
Yes.
to her John Cena, because
Yes.
there's way too much meat on the bone. They've got too good a chemistry, and not for nothing, it takes a lot to have good chemistry with Jade Cargill at her development as a wrestler right now. Um,
And the back
not
and
to,
forth on social media is wow.
oh yeah, no, they're the work they've been doing on Twitter, and yes, it's still Twitter, damn it. And social media has just been just top notch.
Top notch.
Yeah, no, they know how to work on Twitter.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. But yeah, no. And what was, and what I loved about the way that match unfolded was Io Sky and Rhea Ripley were putting on a classic. I mean, that was a hell of a match.
They were, and then I feel like I thought Evolution was gonna have like some surprises as far as like returns, uh, just like outside of what we saw with Monroe, like backstabbing or whatever. But when they went out into the stage, let me excuse me, when they went out into the crowd, I was like Michael Cole pointed out, this is not a last man standing match. It's not a false count anywhere. It's a regular
Right.
standard like main event championship match. So why is they out there in the crowd? And
And yeah,
you know, don't get me wrong. I've never received a missile drop kick outside of on the trampoline, but I don't think a drop kick takes you out for 20 to 30 minutes.
well, if you're a pro wrestling referee, it does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're a pro wrestling referee, so they was out there fighting, and then they came back in the ring, and then Io Sky hit her flip, and that's when the ref comes in, and it just and the reversals and the kickouts, it just felt like okay, something
So,
got
so,
to happen.
something was gonna go down. But
Yeah,
let's rewind for a second.
yeah,
Io Sky, God bless her, she's insane. That, that crossbody she did off of that, I don't even
I
know
just
what you call it, like
stop.
like the side of the
Equipment,
seats.
yeah, equipment.
She
thing.
was probably 15 feet in the air. That was insane. That was like Jeff Hardy levels
I
of
think I want to say Michael Cole said 20.
I don't think, yeah, I would. I mean, he's a pro
Well, yeah,
wrestling.
yeah,
I mean, he's a pro wrestling announcer. He's paid
yeah.
to
He's not a.
exaggerate, but
But let's just say, like, if that could have went any other way, it would have been bad
oh,
because the way
you-
she landed, it looked like she could have did something to her knee, or could have did something to Rhea or her own self in that.
well,
So,
that's a spot you absolutely have to practice before the match because if Rhea was not in perfect position to catch her and to be able to take the bump safely, that's a cracked skull on the concrete floor.
and once again, that goes back to, as we like to talk about, the trust you have with that
Yes.
particular worker. So
You've got to have, yes, pro wrestling is predetermined. We're not crazy, but you've got to have trust with your dance partner in order for this match to not only look good, but to come across safe. And that, those are two of the best women workers in the world right now.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
but
but chef's kiss to that match, chef's kiss to the whole event.
yeah,
Um, what we said last week, I was just hoping that maybe this would be uh, a kickstart to more to come in the near future, like
mhm.
event that they want to continue to do. And I mean, the ladies showed out tonight.
I don't want to have another one of these in 6 years.
Yes, I want to have one every year.
Yes.
Around, if it has to be around this time, that's totally fine. If it has to be different month, that's fine. But it needs to be a staple within the rotations of PLEs.
It does. It really does because the depth of the WWE women's roster right now is insane.
It's
Is absolutely
it's
insane.
way far and beyond what it used to be.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I think the entire cast and crew, the bookers, the producers, just with the exception of Vicky Guerrero's appearance,
Come on now, don't do Vicky about it.
the show was incredible.
I also want to point out while we're talking, I saw a thing on the pre-show that Jackie Redmond said, and I definitely agree with her. Um, with this show, obviously, and the shows before, but when the women became superstars, and we got away from that, bra and panties,
Hmm.
the gravy match, the this, that, and the third, and like letting the ladies like really showcase their athleticism and just the moves they can do in the ring, and basically, I mean, that's they compete with the men for time slots. It it really not only made them look great, but it makes the product look amazing now because like you know both men and women have a level playing field on like trying to get over and like, trying to be a household name and this and that. And I mean, it's only justification tonight that you know they deserve a all women's PLE for from now to eternity. So
Absolutely. It definitely needs to be in the rotation. And she was absolutely right about that because not that long ago, we're having bra and panty matches. We're having, you know, you know,
just silliness.
jello matches.
Yeah, wet
Um,
t-shirt
yeah,
contests and like just stuff that obviously back when we was in our teen years it was like, but like
right.
it was right. So
It and it, you know, never was.
never
Never was.
was. Yes, never
Never
was.
was. I mean, granted, we were both, 18,
Analysts.
but still.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that You know, that main event was incredible. What do you think is next with Jade Cargill and Naomi? Because I kind of feel like, just my opinion is that I kind of feel like Bianca was kind of wasted in that special ref slot because she didn't really
She
interject
really
in the
can.
storyline that
Yeah,
much.
she couldn't really. I mean, she really couldn't do much because her finger still ain't fully
Right.
healed.
I mean, she's
I
not
think.
100% yet.
Yeah. So it was a way. It was more of a waste of a spot for her in that match, but I think I think they used her like that to make us think like, okay, what's going on? Is she gonna call it down the middle? You know, kind of like that feel of, if Shawn Michaels in the match with Triple H, you know for a fact that he definitely going to insert himself into that.
Yep.
So I do like that factor in it. And far as where do we go from here, I don't. Obviously we watch PLEs and all the product we can. I don't think they fully fully made it a guarantee that Jade being the queen of the ring, she automatically going after Tiffany. But I hope that the stipulation of winning queen in the ring, as far as for Jade, that she can pick either or, will make um a very good storyline to pivot from, okay, she's going after Tiffany, and then she's definitely going after Naomi now with her having the title. And I just beat you in a no holds barred match. So I have the momentum going. And just, yeah, yes, you have won the title, but you had to use the Money in the Bank briefcase just to get that belt.
Yeah. And that's a great point because, yeah, no DQ match. But the way that they kind of angled that cash in match, making sure to call it a triple threat match, which triple threat means no disqualification.
No disqualification.
That was that I found that the way that not only the ring announcer, but Michael Cole and Wade Barrett emphasized that, I I found very particular, for lack of a better word.
Absolutely. And I wonder what is going to happen Monday night when Naomi comes out with that belt, because she is the champion of Monday Night Raw now.
Yes,
So,
yeah, she is.
so
She is, and she's gonna have I mean, she's got beef with the whole roster now. She's got beef with
oh yeah,
Rhea. She's got beef with Io. She's got beef with, and you damn sure still got beef with Naomi and Bianca. Not Naomi, but Jade and Bianca.
Jade and Bianca, yeah, and
I
they on
mean,
SmackDown. So
I mean, she's probably got beef with herself at this point.
I mean, she got beef with everybody. It really don't. I mean, Liv and Kill and all that. But I'm very interested to know when we're going to have the draft. But until then, obviously, I'm interested to see where the road leads to for SummerSlam.
Indeed,
It's only 3 weeks
indeed.
away.
Yeah, because yeah, as we're recording this, SummerSlam Night One is 3 weeks from yesterday. So less than 3 weeks.
Hmm.
Man, yeah, we got, and it's a 2 night card. And it's a 2 night card. It's essentially hot WrestleMania. So you're gonna
Yep.
have to put some stuff together in a heartbeat because let's face it, half the roster is injured right now.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the recap right now of Evolution,
Yep.
and not to keep our energy focused on the main event where we had a good show. Uh, to start it off was the if I'm mistaken, the was it the no. Oh, the Intercontinental Triple Threat.
Yeah,
See,
the
talk about
triple
triple
threat.
threat match.
Yeah, triple threat
Yeah.
with Becky, Bailey, and Lyra.
Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't watch that whole match. I got home kind of a little late for that, but I caught the kind of the tail end of it. Why do they have Becky go over? Because it's obvious. I think it's obvious to anybody that they're just going to run that back at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it makes no sense for her to win that match if they're gonna turn around and have that match again at SummerSlam, unless they add a fourth person in there and makes it a fatal four, or one of them get taken out, and obviously it leads to just a one-on-one. But I mean, it's just no disrespect to Becky, but like Jeremy said in our group with about Tiffany, Becky is a heel. I don't know. It's just off. Um, she needs to. She got in the same sense of what they tried to do with Charlotte and bring her back as a heel, and it just didn't fit right.
Yeah.
And with Becky, like obviously she can be a heel. You know, she has all the tools to be a heel, obviously, but I I want to see a better heel from Becky. The man persona is kind of like out of date now
Yeah.
because it was more of in the sense of where the women wasn't getting appreciated. We deserve to be in certain spots or whatever. Now that we're getting more main events by women, now that we're getting more like advertised, like women are being advertised more as the product. Like they're not in the back shot, they're not in the back or in the shadows of the men. They're basically on the same level, with Bianca and the Rhea's and the like now Naomi's and the Jades and everything. It's like that man persona is kind of outdated.
Yeah. What it kind of feels like to me is still kind of riding the coattail, so to speak, of the, like the 2018, 2019 Becky Lynch,
Yeah.
where, where she was standing, like, if you remember that big pull apart brawl that they all had, and she's
Yeah.
standing there, she's got blood coming from her nose, she's got her fist in the air, looking like an absolute animal,
Yeah.
which is kind of where her baby face run started.
Got it. Yeah.
So yeah, no, there's, they need to do something with that because she's too good, she's too over for for her matches to be so blah right now.
And I mean,
And
to be
she's
honest,
too important to the women's division.
yeah. And to be honest, once again, like if anybody watched that match, really, Bailey and Lyra really carried that match.
Yep,
Like
they did.
they really carried it. And obviously we've said things about Becky work in the ring. It's just other people evolve. Other people change certain things about their move sets and things they do in the ring. And it's like you said, Becky is still kind of like riding that coattail of, what made her hot and made her
Right.
the man. And it's just like you had one move, which was the what it was,
Manhandle slam.
manhandle slam. And it's just okay. But like we getting all these
Mix it
women
up.
that's yeah, we're getting all these women that's coming up and like doing. And I'm not saying she has to change her moveset. It's just the whole package has to be rebuffed a little bit.
Yeah, focus. Like, I kind of feel like she's lost a little focus right now, which I feel like takes away from this IC title reign that she has, because that, as we've said many, many times, those second tier titles need to be need to be like your workhorse titles, need to be like you're setting, like you're setting somebody up for success.
Better yet,
And
like you always like we've said before, the IC title has always been the workhorse title. That
yes,
means that person is
yeah.
going to show up every night and basically wrestle and put that title in a way that like, oh my god, if I win that title, it's going to jumpstart me to the world title.
Look at Gunther right now.
Yes,
Had that, had that IC title for 2 full years. And look at him right now. We're going to get to him probably later on in this podcast.
right.
But that's really kind of a prime example. Now we're not talking about the days of the honky tonk man here. We're talking about Macho Man. We're talking about Ricky Steamboat. We're talking about Rick Rude, kind of on that level. And Becky Lynch, he ain't doing it right now.
I mean, Miz comes out, he defends that belt. The Roman Reigns, the Seth Rollins, the Finn Balor's, it was just on and on of
Yeah,
like people winning that IC title. Obviously, I'm naming man, but now with this IC title, you know, uh, Lara was defending it. She was defending on
yes,
Raw. She was defending on PLEs. This and that. Now you put it on Becky, and she's just like, okay, we're just gonna defend it on PLEs. Or she defended it on Raw, but Lyra comes out and just interferes, and it's like, ah
yeah.
man,
I mean, it turns into a cheap finish.
yeah, it turns to a cheap finish when I could just have it on another up and coming star, and they can fight another up and coming star. Like that title does not need to be on unless you're just doing it just because she's one of the goats. She's trying to actually be a grand. She trying to solidify that Grand Slam champion thing. But now that makes me think like, oh, Bailey going to get that too because now she got to solidify herself as the Grand Slam champion. When like that title doesn't need to be on them too. They already established those titles. Those mid card titles need to be used in a form of establishing more stars.
Perfect example. Julia
Julia,
over on
yes,
SmackDown. Yeah.
yes.
Up and coming star. Give her the US championship. See what you can do with it.
Yes, like it's going to like obviously um I just keep forgetting their names for some reason, but Aleister Black's wife, Zelina
Yeah,
Vega.
Zelina,
Yes.
yeah.
Obviously she hasn't had a single title since she's been in WWE. Then she
Right.
finally gets the US title. She's already somewhat established, but now that just catapulted her up as a serious singles competitor. Like stars like that, like they're just hovering or whatever. But when they win that particular title, it level out them to singles like
It's late.
seriously,
We're good.
like yeah. It elevates them to serious singles competitors.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think a lot of the people that I would have had that title on, that IC title on, were in that battle royal, honestly.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to Stephanie Vaquer here in a
Yeah,
minute. But
we'll get to
yeah, but a great example, Lash Legend. She's down in NXT right now. She's probably close to coming up to the main roster. She looked fantastic in that battle royal. Let's not get it twisted. She looked like a monster.
I wouldn't mind seeing her and Nia Jax have a one-on-one match.
Oh, shut up and take my money. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that would be fun. That would be fun.
And ain't too many women in the main roster now that is pound for pound, toe to toe with Nia Jackson can like really give her a go like that.
Yeah, I mean, Rhea Ripley's about the only one, but Rhea Ripley's on Raw. She's dealing with, she's in that main event scene.
Double R's over there.
Yeah, yeah, Raquel. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's just like you gotta move Lash Legend up eventually.
yeah.
And then you just released her tag team partner. So
Yeah, give her something, man, because she looked again. I mean, do you not? She looked phenomenal.
yeah.
I mean, they booked her. I mean, they booked her very strong, and she performed very well.
She is very strong though. I've seen a couple matches of her in NXT, and I'm just like, like who is this woman? And I mean, it's time for her to get showcased a little bit more because I mean, her I don't know if they're engaged or whatever, but her boyfriend is freaking Trick Williams, and he's out here winning TNA titles and stuff. So
I know. Yeah. Don't get me started on that one.
right,
Yeah.
that's another segment for another day.
Yeah. But speaking of that battle royal, Stephanie Vaquer. Now, the thing that really stood out to me the most, not that she won it, which you and I both kind of thought that she was going to win it,
Absolutely.
but that promo spot that she got was Stephanie McMahon, number one. Stephanie, who asked her a question in Spanish. And like how like commanding she's not a big woman. She's not but like 5'6", something like that. But she like her presence in that ring is just incredible.
I mean,
That woman has got massive star written all over her.
I mean the way they everything about the way they brought her in from NXT, even in NXT, the way they built her up, it was kind of on the same level as Oscar.
Totally.
In my
Yeah.
eye, the way they built her up.
That,
I mean,
that, that's a great comp. That's a great comp, by the way.
right. The way that you know, obviously she didn't have the undefeated streak like Oscar, but like her presence and production they do, like when she came in and her entrance music and just the spectacle of her entrance. And then the fact that, outside of us already knowing that she was gonna win, but everybody comes out and she's the very last person to come into the battle royal. That is a telltale sign. Either somebody's gonna win it or they're just like, okay, well, we'll just throw her last. They play with your mind. But obviously from what we've seen and what the crowd is reacting to, obviously it's Stephanie. It made sense for her to win.
Yeah, it made total sense. And we're not talking about like a Royal Rumble style battle royal. We're talking about like a traditional all 20 people, all 30 people, what have you, in the ring at the
All that
same
one.
time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And this is a title opportunity at Clash in Paris. So depending on how it goes, like from now to then, actually obviously determines it. But I mean, all signs point to this. I want to call it SmackDown title, but all signs point to the title on Tiffy. So
Yeah.
who holds that title until then? I don't know, but I mean, it's Stephanie's to take. So
And we kind of figured it was going to be Naomi taking that title,
yeah,
cashing in
yeah,
that match. But, again, the entire internet's talking about that crazy finish to that match.
surprising finish of all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pleased that they pulled that trigger, honestly.
I am too. Interesting enough, I was sitting here watching the match, and I was like, let me go back because we said it in the last episode, but I was like, let me go back and look at what happened at the 2018 Evolution. And crazy enough, in that battle royal, the last person that got eliminated, well, Lash got eliminated last, but the second to last person that got eliminated was actually the first person to win that battle royal in the 2018 battle royal. Naomi,
Niall.
Nia Jax.
Hmm.
She won the battle royal to get a title opportunity.
Good. Yeah.
And then, interesting enough, I go back again. Becky won the SmackDown title from Charlotte at a last woman standing match. Becky wins at Evolution 2.0 the IC title. She retains the IC title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then an interesting nugget: our girl Tony Storm beats Io Sarai for the Mae Young Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Then she turns around, lose to Naomi in a triple threat for her belt. So currently, right now, Io Sky is 0-2 in Evolution.
Exactly. Exactly. Side note, I think the Mae Young Classic, I think that was about the only thing that this really missed was because, granted, she's not in WWE, but look at Toni Storm right now. She's one of the biggest things in the world right now.
Absolutely, absolutely, and
Yeah.
even in that classic, I mean, like you could just name a list, like a long laundry list of stars that like ended up either being stars in WWE or leave WWE and become mega stars in other promotions,
AEW, TNA, wherever, Japan.
wherever, Japan. So
They need to bring that back. When they do this again, and they better do this again, they need to have that Mae Young Classic be a thing.
like, why are we having this? Evolve and whatever the other thing is. I mean, like the LFG is good. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't watched the episode, but I am glad that they're doing something like that with legends, especially Undertaker. But LFG can stay, but Evolve and whatever else they got on the side, like Speed. Why are we doing that? Why are we having a promote? I don't even know what it is. I don't even watch Speed, but I'm just like, why even have those on YouTube? Unless I mean, why not just have something like the Mae Young Classic or stuff like that to promote and showcase young talent?
Totally. Totally. I mean, but you're totally right. Just looking quickly, and we're going to touch on Saturday night's main event here in a
Yeah,
couple of minutes. But talking about that 2018 Mae Young Classic, some of the stars that were in that were Deanna Purrazzo, Io Shirai, who was in the main event tonight. Change your name, but Io Sky. Lacey Lane. Can't say I remember her. Miriam.
yeah. Who is Meacham or not Meacham? Her name is something else now.
It's Meechin. Yeah.
It's Meacham. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. No. And some Australian named Rhea Ripley was in it.
Mommy.
Yeah, Mommy was in it. Yep. Tegan Tegan Knox was in it.
Yes.
So Tony Storm, of course, won it. So
From
there were
Storm. Yeah.
some big stars right now, not all in WWE, but some big stars really made their bones in that tournament, and they need to bring that back.
And I want to say it was um two classics, right? Because
Yeah, yeah, there was one in 17 too.
I remember what's the face. Ronda Rousey's friend, who is a producer now, by the way,
Shayna, yeah,
Shayna
Shayna,
Baszler.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand why they have stuff that actually fits and it works, and then they just scrap it and just stop. That's why Evolution it needs to stay. Me Young Classic it needs to stay. Like
Thank you. Honestly, that the Dusty Rhodes tag team thing that they had a few years ago should come back.
yeah,
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
Finn and Samoa Joe won that,
yes,
and DIY that won the second year or something like that or somebody. But like,
yeah, I
it's
believe
just
so. Yeah,
there's so many teams and things you can do with
yeah,
those particular events. Just like not take them away. Just continue on with them.
exactly. Like we're talking about the 2017 version.
Yeah.
Here's some of the features. Um, some up and comer named Bianca Belair was in it. Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, Lacey Evans. Mia was in the first one. Mia Yim was in the first one. Um, Rhea was in the first one as well. Sarah Logan, Serena
Wow.
Deeb, Shayna Baszler was in it. Tessa Blanchard. Well, I guess the less we talk about her, the better. But she's still Tully's daughter.
I mean, people know them. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah. Xia Li was in it. Yeah. They need to bring that back too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they absolutely need to bring that back. But yeah, no, I definitely had, the show Sunday night, Evolution, was a hell of a lot of fun.
And kudos to them for obviously making the call on Naomi to win it. But I just noticed, I was like watching it and I was like, oh wow, they really pushing this main event like it was a long main event.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole PLE was what, 2 hours? 3 hours?
Well, it was like 3 and change, I think.
But like something like this back in the day, they would have been trying to wrap it up, 2 hours before one get out. But this felt like a legitimate PLE.
Exactly.
And you can ask balls to go toe to toe with the events outside of WWE in the location that they chose. I mean, you had MLB, you had Beyonce, you had AEW going on, in Texas, obviously. But like, yeah.
God, Atlanta has got to be a madhouse right now with the baseball all-star game, with the Beyonce concert at the football stadium. I can't.
I can't imagine that.
I mean, Atlanta's a mess. Atlanta's a mess on a Tuesday in July.
Yeah, but let them know.
Exactly. Well, let's touch on a couple of things from Saturday night's main event. And I think the first thing that I wanted to touch on was Seth Rollins got hurt again, which is super sad because they were definitely really pushing that faction with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do there? Because if he's seriously going to be on the show for a long time, you got to get that briefcase off of him.
You do. And I'm glad you brought that up because, obviously Seth Rollins has a laundry list of history with bad knees.
Yep.
2015, he suffered a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus in his right knee. He had to give up the world heavyweight title and miss WrestleMania 32. 2 years later, he retore his MCL in the same knee. While he didn't require surgery, he did miss significant time. In 2024, he suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee, but he still appeared when he had that match against Triple H. Was fantastic, by the way, and I kudos to him for toughening out to do that. But then yesterday, he suffered a knee injury. They really haven't came out and said what. Also, we saw what leg he was grabbing on. That was his right knee.
Yep.
And that is the same knee that he pretty much butchered. So,
and
I did see reports he was at Evolution tonight, but they said he was in crutches and he had a brace on.
Yep.
I just hate it. I really hate it. Obviously, we talk about these performers and everything, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we know they're human, and they have families and other other things outside of wrestling, and it just sucks for Seth because, like, I mean, the band is definitely one of the heartbeats of WWE. I mean, he
and has been for over a decade now. Hey, Dom, your mic went out.
How about now?
I can hear you now.
My bad. My apologies. But I just hate it that
you know, he got bit by an injury bug in the same area. Like, it just sucks that it's in his knee. And, it could have been like a finger or elbow. It just sucks as an injury. I mean, because a month ago we lost Liv to separated shoulder. So
To his
now
shoulder, yeah.
now we lose Seth to a knee injury. And then the thing was, to be honest, did Seth need to be in that match? No. Did he need to be in that PLE? No, absolutely not. Like, I know they had big plans for Seth for Summerslam. Like, the writing was on the wall for Seth to, either try to cash that in and Roman comes and surprises them and costs them that Money in the Bank or something. But now we lose him at the wrong time, and we don't know how long. So now that definitely makes people in the back in the creative team watch that whiteboard off and like put their heads together and try to rewrite the ship.
Yeah, no, a few blocks down the road from me right now, they're probably going to be burning the midnight oil, all week, getting ready for SummerSlam. Yeah.
You probably saw something burning. They probably threw something out the window and it exploded and stuff because they just lost their absolute minds because of one particular. And that's another thing. Like, when somebody gets injured or somebody has that many injuries to that particular area of their body, you think they'll switch up their moveset, right? Like, not to say that Steph should have. I mean, if you feel comfortable doing it, do it by all means. But why do it so later on in your lifespan in WWE and not switch it up? Like, let's not do the flips. Let's try to do more technical moves. Let's try to, show off our strength a little bit more or something. But like, to keep doing what you've been doing that really got you where you are is a telltale sign that you might need to switch things. I mean, Dave Bryant, I remember I think he said this when he was in WWE. He was suffering concussions and stuff, so he kind of had to switch up the way he does his moveset.
As we've been talking about this, I know baseball and pro wrestling are different, but they're still athletes.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna is a really perfect example of this because in 2021 he tore his left ACL, or was it his right? It was his right ACL. Came back, was kind of not that great in 2022 when he came back, won the MVP in 2023. But then just in kind of a freak occurrence in 2024, he cut when he was running the bases and tore his left ACL. And the speculation was that maybe his right ACL wasn't completely, like, it was a little imbalanced.
Yeah.
And when he made that cut, his knee just buckled. And it could be something like that with Seth because he's had problems with both of his knees before, which is unfortunate because I just looked, he's only 38. So, I mean, he's still, you would think, got, 4 or 5 good top years left, which is really unfortunate because they had a lot of creativity behind him with this new faction.
Which they had no name.
Which they have no name yet. Exactly. Quick speculation on what they do with that briefcase. I think let's have Money in the Bank Part 2 at SummerSlam.
Well, remember they had that big conspiracy with a particular performer that isn't with the company anymore. He won the Money in the Briefcase with the help of Hornswoggle. And they had a big uproar about that. So they was like, hey, we're gonna have another Money in the Bank on SmackDown of all things, and turn around and Hornswoggle helped her win again. And the superstar, if anybody is not familiar with the superstar, her name is Carmella. So,
and who may or may not be married to Raw commentator Corey Graves, but point taken. Point taken. But my point is that this could be a time, because they've obviously got a lot of pressure on Brian Breaker.
yeah.
They've got a lot of things behind him. They've got a lot of things behind Brian Breaker. And this could be a time to kind of rig the Money in the Bank match towards Brian Breaker, because you've got Bronson, you've got, you've got Paul Heyman. At this point, who knows about Brock Lesnar at this point? So,
hear me out, Ryan. And you made a valid point the other night. I think when we was either watching Saturday Night Main Event, I think it was SmackDown. But wouldn't this be a good opportunity if we do rerun this Money in the Bank briefcase match, put it on SmackDown or Raw, whatever, and you right or wrong, and LA Knight wins that briefcase? Because when you think about it, right?
he should have won it last month, but go on.
Last month, yeah. But he wins that, and he cashes in on, I know we're getting John Cena versus Cody again, but I feel like LA Knight should be the one to cash in on John Cena. I don't know why I feel that way. I mean, I'm not going off the hype. It's more of, it makes sense. Because if you think about John Cena's career and you think about LA Knight's career, it's kind of one and the same, but not necessarily really the same. It's very parallel, right? He came up through, trying to be in Hollywood and this, that, and the third, and did a couple of shows here, there, whatever. Then he got his break in, I believe, TNA, right?
Yeah, NWA.
NWA. Okay, yeah.
I mean, TNA as well, but NWA, I think, is really.
But his name, and then blah blah blah, and then he finally got his pick in WWE and NXT when he came. Well, he was LA Knight. I guess, was he LA Knight before he came into NXT, or he changed his name to LA Knight?
No, I know he was Eli Drake outside of WWE.
Yeah, he was Eli Drake. I remember you said it, and then he just LA Knight.
I'm pretty sure he changed it because he was Eli Drake in TNA and NWA, but yeah.
So, he can't hide in WWE and this and that. Right. John Cena. He comes from the Ohio production,
the Ohio Valley, yeah.
Yes. Then, he comes in with the big four, big three, whatever, and he comes in with Kurt Angle. Why do you think you should be in the ring with me? Ruthless aggression. Then, obviously 25 years later, boom, we got John Cena. And John Cena is basically a reverse of LA Knight. He's going into Hollywood and he's going to leave WWE. So it's like yin and yang kind of. So why not LA Knight get that briefcase?
I like where your head's at on that. I see LA Knight more of a Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of energy, because Stone Cold, I guarantee you, if he had kept the long hair and kept the ringmaster gimmick for his entire career, he would not be the icon that he is today. And I kind of think that, Max Dupree was his ringmaster kind of moment, so to speak.
I don't know why in the world there had to be a Vince McMahon.
Well, no, that was definitely an old man thing. God.
why even do that to that man. But I keep seeing the reports that, like, you know, people talk about Triple H on, like, LA Knight, and I'm just like, I don't really see it, because I mean, he still gives him opportunity after opportunity. He still is doing something far more better than anybody else.
Exactly. And I think last but not least, let's touch on that main event a little bit. Goldberg and Gunther. It wasn't the train wreck that I was thinking it was going to be, but I think a lot of that is just because Gunther is just so damn good. Because like the way that he sold for him. But you know, I'm grateful that match is over.
It definitely went off the book of trope to me. Like, you know, after we get the last ride of Goldberg coming out with the security, quote unquote security, you know, he comes out. It's not as. It reminds me of an old Western movie. You know, that old cowboy. You know, the old.
That's a good call.
John Wayne. You know, he got one good bullet left in his gun. He's gonna try to make it work.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood, some of those movies.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, he comes out and, you know, and we get the old trope of old Goldberg. He's indestructible. You know, Gunther's top pain effect Goldberg. You know, that's number one. Number two, you know, Goldberg's strength. You know, like you said, Gunther was selling a lot of those maneuvers. And then we get the final one of the old spear and the jackhammer. And thank God he landed that jackhammer.
Oh my God, yes.
Because it looked like it was about to be a train wreck. That was the train wreck you were talking about.
Exactly. But not for nothing. I feel like that was about 75% on Gunther, the way that he got himself up for that jackhammer.
Oh, absolutely. And I give kudos to Goldberg.
Yeah.
He did, you know, and you know, I hope anybody that's listening, we're not completely trashing Goldberg.
No.
It's just this match should have happened at least 10 years ago. At least.
As I've said several times, 1998 Bill Goldberg against 2025 Gunther, sign me up twice.
I just hate the fact that, you know, they did our boy Bray Wyatt so bad with the Goldberg situation, with Fiend taking Spears by
Why did you have to go there, man?
It's part of my mind. I'm just sitting there thinking like that. But yeah, thank you, Goldberg. Thank you for 20 years of your character. Thank you for all that you've done for the wrestling community. I have fond memories of you when you were Goldberg. I hate the fact that, you know, all these years later, you know, with the Undertaker and the Fiend and everything else, you know, your legacy is kind of like it was kind of one of those plane rides where, you know, we get a nice cruise of Goldberg, and then the engine starts filtering, and then like we start to lose gas, and then it's just like a pew.
Yep.
And then oh my god, we're gonna land correctly, and then
yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly, when he won the title over Hulk Hogan in the Georgia Dome that time, it was one of my favorite. That was one of my moments from the Monday Night War. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like Mick Foley beating The Rock with that.
Absolutely. Goldberg was a bad man. He was a bad man, but that man's almost 60 years old. I'm sorry. That man's almost 60 years old.
WWE did a terrible job. They should have never let Kevin Nash beat Goldberg the way he beat Goldberg. That right there showed you why WWE was doing.
With that stupid cattle prod.
Yeah.
With Scott Hall sticking him with that stupid cattle prod. Oh, yeah.
Everything about that was terrible, and they was doomed from that.
They did him so dirty. They did him so dirty. Well, honestly, I didn't watch AEW, but I've seen some highlights, and John Moxley is insane.
Yeah. Oh,
Honestly, Hangman Page is insane too, but John Moxley is certifiable.
well, before we get on Goldberg though, I hate the way they did his retirement speech. They could let that man speak. Hold off for 5 freaking minutes. You don't have to get to another show. You don't have to get the extra producer. I mean, the executive producers. Blah 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 blah. Let that man speak, and then cut it off.
Well, you gotta go to the evening news. No, you don't.
I don't want to see no third Modern Family or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
or whoever comes on after Peacock or ABC. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, I don't want to see what's going on in New York City right now because it's going to be depressing.
absolutely. And then like this man is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the reasons why there was a WCW versus WWE. He's one of the reasons why he made people believe in wrestling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another fun episode, my guy. Got 3 weeks till
Absolutely,
SummerSlam.
oh man.
Cannot wait.
And once again, awesome job by the women tonight in Evolution. I know we didn't touch on the NXT title match, but you know, no disrespect to the ladies there. But like I said, everybody did a wonderful job. I'm excited. Hopefully we get another Evolution next year.
Better.
And I'm very excited for Raw Monday night, which is tomorrow. And 3 weeks ago, we're going to be at SummerSlam.
Less
2 nights.
than 3 weeks.
And it's a 2-night event.
Gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I guess between now and then we start streaming Jelly Roll's catalog.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The least we talk about that, the better.
I think one episode leading up to SummerSlam, I think we need to like maybe watch an old SummerSlam pay-per-view or something, review that. I don't want that. To be honest, no disrespect. Jelly Roll, he's probably in the same category as Travis Scott, but probably
Now he says we're gonna give him the same energy as Travis Scott. Okay.
It's probably the same moment. He's the captain, and Travis is more of the guy that is like picking the anchor up out the water or something.
Yeah.
I think Jelly Roll's gonna do a fairly decent job, better than Travis Scott. I know that.
Which that's a very low floor, my friend.
The bar is touching the ground, basically. It's like barely that high off the ground.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, another great episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Leave us a review, tell a friend, and we'll do it again next week. For Dom, I'm Ryan. You've been listening to the Wrasslin Wroundtable podcast. Until we eat again, thanks for listening.